of new Islamic calendar. Governor Abeokuta, in a statement by his chief press secretary, Kunle Shomori, said the Islamic New Year represents spiritual renewal which emanated from the divine migration called Hijrah, embarked upon by Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina. He noted that as Muslims all over the world celebrate the New Year, efforts must be geared towards reliving the spiritual journey the Prophet did by spreading words of love, peace, and unity. While congratulating Muslims in the state, the governor urged them to use the auspicious occasion and pray for the country in general and Ogun State in particular. It therefore reiterated his administration's commitment to interreligious and interfaith peace and cooperation, as well as continued efforts to deliver good governance across the state. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has called on security agencies in the state to redouble their efforts in ridding the state of cultism and other criminal activities in order to safeguard the lives and property of the citizenry. Governor Abiodun, who made the call when he received the new Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, in charge of Zone 2, comprising Lagos and Ogun States, also charged the AIG to work towards ensuring the zone recorded zero tolerance in criminal activities.
Random cases of, kidnap for ransom and clashes between our farmers and our herders, because we also have that uniqueness of being a state that borders with the West African sub-region. So these are the peculiarities of our state, and with that comes with its own security challenges as well. But we'll continue to find ways and means to engage our youth, believing that when they're idle, then, there's a direct relationship between idleness and mischief.
That his administration will continue to support the Nigeria police, while noting that the administration would also continue to see any act of insecurity as sabotage to its efforts to repositioning the state.
Minimum. Having said that, I want to assure you that if there's any way,
So the police in the zone under his watch had been able to up their game. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has called for tolerance, mutual respect among religious faithful in the state and the nation at large, saying no state or nation can progress without these values. The governor stated this at the second-term inauguration of Apostle David Otaru as Ogun State Chairman of Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, held at the new Secretariat of the Association along Kobakwe Road, Abeokuta. Governor Abiodun, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, said the nation is in a critical time of her life and everyone must respect the religious leanings and beliefs of one another as a people. Governor Abiodun wants the people to eschew provocative comments and imbibe the fear of God in their dealings with others.
Whether it is Christian, whether it's Muslim, whether it's whatever, it is peace. And peace, it comes out of forbearing each other, for us to be in brotherly consonance with our brothers. And so my charge to everybody as we get into the election, whatever, is be your brother's keeper. Know what is proper to be done, and let us also have the fear of God in the things that we do, in the things that we say, how we relate with our brothers and sisters within our political understanding, or even if they are not within our political understanding, we still need. But I'm certain about one thing: God is a fair God. God is a God of peace. He will protect all of us.
In his inaugural speech, the new chairman, Apostle David Otaru, appreciated the founding fathers and other stakeholders who contributed generously towards the new secretariat of the Christian body tagged Legacy House. Otaro acknowledged the huge donations by the General Overseer, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, the Bishop of the Living Faith Church, Bishop David Oyedepo, the General Superintendent, Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor W.F. Kumuyi, among other notable church leaders. The PFN chairman pledged to hand over a more profitable, vibrant, and resourceful body of Christ to the next administration after another 4-year tenure. Our coalition of civil society for good governance, an umbrella body to about 20 advocacy groups, peacefully protested to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, asking for the extension of continuous voters registration, CVR. The group said INEC should leverage on citizens' willingness to register ahead of the 2023 general election, stating that those who intend to register have been coming out in large numbers, but there are inadequate manpower and equipment to attend to them. A development, they said, has led to long queues. Convener of the coalition, Professor Theophilus Ndubwaku, in a letter to the national chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, insisted that large numbers of people spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country were yet to register. He said the quest to register has turned so bad that bribe for registration was being witnessed in certain areas of the country. Professor Ndubwaku acknowledged that the deadline for registration had been previously extended many times, but appealed that the umpire should consider extension so as not to disenfranchise anyone. Meanwhile, Ogun State government has cancelled this month's environmental sanitation exercise billed to hold on Saturday, 30th July 2022 in all the 20 local government councils of the state. This is to allow residents of the state to participate in the ongoing national voters registration exercise by the Independent National Electoral Commission. A statement by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environment, Engineer Razak Ojetola, has it that residents who are yet to register misplaced their voter cards and those who might need to travel. Thanks for staying tuned to the People's Tele. Ogun State government has underscored the importance of continued support of Old Students Association to resuscitate and reposition schools to an enviable height. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, made this call at the commissioning of some projects executed by the 1982 Old Students Association of Shapade Grammar School, Remo. Professor Arigbabu proceeded that with the support and contributions of the association, education sector in the state would continue to receive the necessary concentration required to provide conducive environment for learners to thrive.
It requires attention for us to take education in the state to the level that every one of us will be proud of it. You know, education is a major business in the state. We are the education capital of Nigeria, and we cannot afford not to be in the driver's seat. We should lead and others will follow. And we have started a number of new initiatives in Ogun State. Today, Ogun State is the first state where learners will go with what we call the electronic dossier instead of the paper dossier they're carrying about in all other states.
The commissioner commended the initiative of the association, which he said would help to secure lives and property, while also encouraging them not to relent in contributing their quota to their alma mater. In his remarks, the chairman, planning committee of the 1982 Old Students Association said, Dr. Wale Onobiyi, said members decided to give back to their alma mater, promising that such gesture would not cease on the part of the association. Armed with the progress made so far, the Minister of State for Education, Right Honorable Goodluck Nana Opia, has reassured that the federal government is committed to ending the strike action of the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, ASU. The minister, who had earlier given a hint of this development, said that given the charge of President Muhammadu Buhari concerning ending the industrial dispute, All relevant stakeholders involved in the resolution have moved into action and working towards achieving a positive result. Opia made the disclosure during a meeting with women in politics who visited his office to discuss the strike challenges in tertiary institutions in the country and other matters connected to national politics. The minister told the women in politics, led by its matron, Chief Mrs. Folashade Tinumbu Ojo, with Aja Mariam Danjuma, the DG, that the directive of the president on ending the strike action is being carried out, and in no distant time the dispute shall be resolved. Lending support to the activities of the women in politics, the minister said that the ministry is collaborating with genuine efforts of the groups and non-governmental organizations in the development of the education sector, adding that the visit will spur his ministry to do more for the system. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has presented the staff of office to Onitele of Iteleota, Oba Ademola Eletu. The governor, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Kolawole Fagun, at the coronation ceremony, however, charged the new monarch to ensure peace and development of his kingdom. Sheyi Alau reports.
The installation ceremony of the new Onitele of Iteleota was attended by traditional rulers, eminent personalities, sons and daughters of Iteleota. The atmosphere in the playing ground of St. Peter Primary School, Iteleota, was electrified as soon as the new Onitele was handed the staff of office and was hailed with the shouts of Kabiesi. Speaking shortly after the presentation of staff, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, represented by the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Kolawole Fagbon, congratulated the entire people of Iteleota and charged the monarch to rule his subjects with love. He added that the current administration is committed to ensuring peace and welfare of the Iteleota people and the entire state.
Our governor is a peace-loving governor. He's one who likes the welfare of the people of Ogun State. So I enjoy and I charge the new KBC to be peaceful in his dealing with his people. He should seek peace. He should try to reconcile with other contending parties.
In his acceptance speech, the monarch expressed gratitude to Prince Dapo Abiodun, stating that what his administration has done will remain unforgettable in the history of Iteleota people.
On behalf of the people of Itele, my family and well-wishers, I want to sincerely thank the Ogun State Governor and the administration for answering the call of my Itele.
In their separate remarks, royal fathers and guests who graced the occasion believed that the installation of the new king will bring peace to the people of Iteleota.
This town will witness a lot of development. There is no doubt about it. So I want to thank His Excellency for doing this for us in our holy land.
We give glory to God that today be a reality, and some of the indigenous of Italy, we are happy today that we have a new king.
I thank our Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun, MFR, our Ogun State Governor, that all our urban and our local government are very, very grateful.
The installation of the new king brought an end to 17 years of kingship tussle in the Iteleota community. Sheyi Alao, Ogtv News.
The new Aboro of Ibeshe, Oba Oluwaseyi Rotimi Mulero, has pledged unflinching support of himself and his subjects to the government of Ogun State. Oba Mulero stated this at Ibeshe Market Square while addressing his people after his coronation and presentation of staff of office by the Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun. Fowora Adesowo reports on how the spiritual and economic activities in the town got a boost with the installation ceremony. His report.
It was a historic and spiritual entry of the first-class traditional ruler after a 5-year interregnum. Traditional opinion and religious leaders accompanied the new Aboro of Ibeshe, Oba Oluwarotimi Mulero, to the market square, Ibeshe, where the grand ceremony took place. In an address delivered by the governor of Ogun State, Prince Abeokuta, Oba Mulero was advised to unite the town and work for its socio-economic development.
Kabiyesi, the entire Ibeshe community is expecting that you utilize your position as first-class Oba to sustain conducive environment for existing investors.
Prince Abeokuta was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, who presented the staff of office to the first-class monarch. Oba Oluwarotimi Mulero says it is a dawn of a new era and enlists the support of his people for the task ahead.
This is the new beginning in my town, Ibeshe. And I'm promising the sons and daughters of Ibeshe that henceforth they will see the symbol of unity and harmony. They will see progress. And I pray for success of the effort so far, the effort of the government so far, and our efforts. I know from now on, new things has begun to happen.
Some traditional rulers from Egba land and Yewa land and indigenes of Ibeshe expressed their joy over the emergence of Oba Mulero is the 14th Aboro of Ibeshe. He succeeded Oba Joel Bamboye, who joined his ancestors in 2017 after 59 years of reign. Adefowura Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
Oba Rufai Adeleke Adeyalu has been installed as the new Lema of Odelemo, with a call on the people to put the interests of their community first, cooperate with the new monarch to bring the much-needed progress and development to the land. The coronation ceremony and presentation of the staff of office was performed by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Ogun State, Peter Fagbon, at the Community Square. Matthew Shomi reports.
One of the ancient communities in Remoland, Odelemo, noted for kolanut merchandise, is getting a monarch after long waits with the installation of Oba Rufai Adeleke Adeyalu as the Lemo of Odelemo, presenting the staff of office and certificate to the new monarch on behalf of the Ogun State Government's Permanent Secretary, Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Peter Fagbon, said this presents a unique opportunity for the people to come together and work for the development of their community.
The community people want to unite other contenders and the Kabiyesi should take the development of the town of Odelemo as a priority.
Akaribu and paramount ruler of Remoland, Oba Babatunde Ajayi, and chairman of Shagamu Local Government, Honorable Olashile Odulate, encouraged the people to bury the hatchets and cooperate with the monarch.
It's about time that everybody should come together and rally around this new Kabiyesi.
Odelemo is witnessing a new era of sunshine, and there will be a tremendous development in Ode. So I just want to celebrate with Ode people.
President of Shagamite Club, where the monarch belongs, some of the people of the community and children of the new Oba expressed great delight at such an occasion.
With the support of the Almighty Allah, the support of the Shagamites, the support of Odelemo people, there will be massive development soon in Odelemo. For years now, we have been behind him on this.
All of them should come and support him. Let them join hands together so that he can actually look into the development of the Odelemo land.
I want to enjoy all the people of Ode to support the new Oba in his reign, and I pray the reign will be peaceful.
Oba Rufai Adeleke Adeyalu appealed to sons and daughters of the land to join hands with him for peace, progress and development of the land, as he appreciated the state government for making the day possible. It was a moment of fulfillment for the people who welcomed the new monarch to the throne. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
The Nigerian Army has announced the appointment of new general officers commanding its divisions in Kaduna, Enugu, Lagos, and Ibadan, as well as some new corps commanders in a bid to tackle the rising insecurity, violent security threats in the country. Those affected in the redeployment include some principal staff officers of the Army headquarters, general officers commanding, corps commanders, commandants of training institutions, brigade commanders, commanding officers, amongst others. The Chief of Army Staff directed all the newly appointed senior officers to redouble their effort and commitment to duty in tackling the security challenges bedeviling the nation as they assumed their new appointments. The multinational Joint Task Force honored over 6,000 troops from Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, Niger Republic, and the Republic of Benin with medals for their contributions in the ongoing fight against insurgency in the Lake Chad region. Also, another 12 personnel drawn from the contributing countries were recognized for their bravery in the concluded Operation Lake Sanity. Over 6,000 personnel from all the troops contributing countries, including the Republic of Benin, were awarded with 2 categories of medals. Another important segment of the occasion was the awards of gallantry medal to the serving personnel of the MNJTF who participated and distinguished themselves by acts of bravery in the recent Operation Lake Sanity. A total of 12 officers and men drawn from the 4 sectors of the multinational Joint Task Force were recognized. The force commander, Major General Abdul Khalifa Ibrahim, said the force had recorded tremendous successes since its establishment in 2015. The late Prince Nathaniel Ogunbono, a renowned broadcaster and musician, has been described by the Secretary to the Ogun State government, Tokunbo Talabi, as a community man who paid his dues to his community. Tokunbo Talabi said this at the funeral service held in honor of the veteran at St. Jude's Anglican Church, Abeokuta, Abeokuta.
St. Jude's Anglican Church, Abeokuta, Abeokuta, was the venue of the funeral of late Prince Nathaniel Ogunbono, a renowned broadcaster and musician in his time. Leading the top government officials to the event was the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi, who described the deceased as a man with glowing legacies, including being a man of his community.
And even in the later years of Baba, the concern for communities there, when we had COVID issues around, Baba interacted with the states for the benefit of the people in his community, especially his age group, who are always neglected. We pray that Baba's soul will rest in peace.
Talabi said the deceased will be greatly missed as a communicator par excellence, being a compere broadcaster and a musician who impacted lives of his children and people with his talents. Family members, friends, and well-wishers were entertained at Ontech Event Center, where they all paid glowing tributes to the deceased.
Well, my father was a loving father. He was strict and he instilled trustworthiness. My father was a peculiar person. He was someone who stood for what he believes in, someone whose integrity was topmost in his character. Okay, my father was a man who held strongly to values. And when I say values, I'm talking about these were things he imbibed in us. I'm talking integrity, I'm talking hard work, I'm talking honesty, I'm talking the fact that you should empathize with people and care for people.
He's brought us up in the fear of God, and he's instilled values in us, he's instilled integrity, he's instilled honesty.
Late Prince Nathaniel Ogunbono, Balogun of Ikija Christians, died at the age of 88.
There was a special one on Zamzam water as packaged by Bumi Adigun of our News and Current Affairs Division. It's time to bring you business news, and Dominic Agbeha is standing by.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the designation of Lekki Deep-Sea Port as a customs port and approved wharf. This is contained in the official Twitter handle of the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA. It stated that the Managing Director, Mr. Mohammed Bello Kokoin, in a letter through the Ministry of Transportation, secured the approval for the port to be gazetted in line with extant laws. With the approval and level of preparedness, the port is set for berthing commercial vessels before the year ends. Tax on telecommunication services is set to increase to 12.5% as the federal government plans to implement a 5% inclusive excise duty on telecommunications services in Nigeria. This was made known by the Minister of Finance and Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, at the Stakeholders Forum on the implementation of excise duty on telecommunications services in Nigeria, which was held in Abuja. Ahmed, who was represented by the Assistant Chief Officer of the Ministry, Mr. Frank Oshanigmi, at the event organized by the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, said the 5% excise duty had been in the Finance Act 2020 but was not implemented. The Chairman, Association of Licensed Telecom Owners of Nigeria, Alton, Benga Adebayo, said the additional 5% tax will be passed on to telecommunications consumers who will bear the burden. The Chairman, Board of Commissioners of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Professor Adeolu Akonde, has urged Nigerians to see telecommunications infrastructure as their own. Akonde made this disclosure while speaking during the third edition of Village Square Dialogue organized by NCC in Ibadan. Akonde, while speaking at the event held at Makbo Hall, lamented the rate of vandalization and stealing of telecommunication infrastructure in the country. He, however, advised Nigerians to see telecommunications infrastructure as their own by protecting them and reporting perpetrators to the appropriate authorities. Telecommunication infrastructure is important, hence the need to ensure that they are guarded against vandals and those who are stealing their equipment. With a global market estimated at $110 billion, the federal government has called on investors to explore the development of the nation's 42 billion barrels of bitumen reserves. Speaking at a virtual clarification session organized by the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in collaboration with PwC Nigeria, the Director General of the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, Dr. Abdulrazak Garba, who provided geoscientific data and other information to guide potential investors, said the country holds the 6th largest reserves of bitumen in the world. He said the mineral remained unexploited for years, thereby creating massive opportunity for domestic production of bitumen in lieu of the country's bitumen importation. And finally, the federal government has promised to provide adequate security for the reopening of Spanish-run largest tomato factory in Nigeria, located in Kebbi. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, gave the reassurance when Spanish ambassador in Nigeria, Mr. Juan Ignacio Cel, paid him a courtesy visit. Mohammed reiterated the position of President Muhammadu Buhari during his recent visit to Spain that adequate protection will be given for the reopening of the factory. The factory was opened in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Kebbi State Government, and the Emirate of Yauri. That's the business news. Many thanks for watching. The rest of the bulletin continues with Mujisola.